Hello everybody and welcome back to Stellaris, where we are now at peace. The galactic quiptilium state realized that the war was pointless, and so we have moved on. So that's wonderful. We have a lot of influence right now, and I would like to spend some of that, specifically, on building a... Mega shipyard would not be awful.
Research complete.
Maybe we should build a mega shipyard. We could build that up in Wodriax, but I kind of want to build it in a different location, like somewhere that is not super vulnerable, right? We can connect it with a gateway, or we could just put it in like the Jasmok system where there's already a gateway, but that's fairly interior to our empire. I don't necessarily hate that. So if we were to build that right here, I like it. Let's go ahead and do that. We'll get started on that. Building cost reduction, that is good. And we're going to go for, I think, energy weapon attack speed next. Of course, we do need to work on maxing out our fleets, as well as getting these anchorages over here a little bit more online. They are underway. So that is completely fine, and we're going to just hit this reinforce fleet button as frequently as possible. So we do need some 8 additional corvettes, a destroyer, and 2 cruisers into the Diamond Sufit here. That's fine. And I was looking around, and I noticed the Destican Unity... Oh yeah, we definitely want to research, or we want to extend our agreement with the curators. I was noticing the Destican Unity is now considered equivalent and inferior to us. Now that's interesting. That's very interesting. Now, the Ruby Sufit does not need to be here anymore. We're going to have it move on over and hop into this system here, into Amadioa. So that'll be fine. And we are, of course, in the Jasmok system now. Our Nanite Actuators Edict just expired. We re-up that, for sure. Oh, and we have a lot of influence right now. We wanted to drop this, didn't we? No, we already did. Okay, I just wanted to double check that. Okay, good. So that's fine. We could go for another construction ship, and actually, I think we're going to. We're going to get another construction ship out here, because there are additional mega structures we want to build. Now, we know that we already have the Strategic Coordination Center here, and we may want to get that upgrading and save up our alloys for that. That is definitely something that we could think about. Well, let's get that other construction ship out. And with that out, what are we going to go for here? Well, we don't have an interstellar assembly site, we don't have a mega art installation site, we don't have a science nexus, and I think the science nexus is probably what we're most interested in. And I think we're going to put that up in Asland. So we're going to start heading up there.
Technology secured.
That costs 5,000, so next month we'll have enough for that. That's perfect. I think we're going to go for army damage next. It's not hugely important, but we'll take it. That'll be just fine. We do have a tradition available, and actually, that gives us our last tradition tree. Monthly food output, defense army damage, habitability, a free building slot, and resettlement cost. I feel like adaptability isn't that great, although pop housing usage is pretty good. Let's see, domination is... okay, actually. That edict isn't awful. We could go down the harmony tree, or we could go down the subterfuge tree. We're starting to get to the point where we're not interested in a lot of this stuff necessarily. 5% stability wouldn't be awful. Food and mineral upkeep, huh? That's not that interesting, in all honesty. Admin cap wouldn't necessarily be the worst. I guess we could go down domination, get ourselves more influence for claims, and getting more housing would actually be pretty good. So we'll go down the domination tree, and we'll just call that good for now. Now, the Valdari Peacekeepers haven't really done anything yet. They're only superior to us in tech, which is funny. They're benevolent interventionists, and peace in the galaxy is their foremost concern. That's nice. Our Strikecraft attack speed have finished up now, and we're going to go for next planetary build speed, since that is cheapest. Wonderful. And let's check into our worlds up here. This bureaucratic center, we're going to actually put in an admin office because we're still going to have our empire sprawl growing by quite a lot. This agro world needs something. And an upgrade to the food processing centers is what we'll do. This agro world, we can put in an agriculture district to help offset our consumer goods a little bit. The return of the Valdari to the galactic scene has not gone unnoticed by the fallen empires present in our galaxy. The Zigmok in particular appear most agitated at the news. It appears that these two proud nations are ancient rivals, and though the reasons for their rivalry has long since faded into history, the sudden reawakening of the Valdari peacekeepers has inflamed old animosities, and triggered a counter-reaction. The Zigmok reconquerors have roused themselves from their slumber to face their old rivals, with the whole galaxy as their battleground. What will this mean for us all? So where are the Zigmok? I don't actually know. We can just search for them. Oh, right here. I was looking right at them. Sounds good. So they have a CB against us. That's fine. How are we looking against them? Superior pathetic. I like it. So that's pretty fantastic. This Forge world requires a job, and we're going to go for civilian fabricators to offset the civilian goods again. There we go. And this mining world can get a system capital complex. Excellent. Now, this construction ship has arrived up here, and we're going to put in our Science Nexus site. That's going to be, it doesn't really matter which of these we put it around. We'll put it around this broken world here, Asland 1. Although it looks like it might be building here. Interesting, but it doesn't really matter where it goes. It's not relevant. So that's fine. Now, with the remainder of these alloys, we can save up to continue to upgrade our Strategic Coordination Center. But we currently cannot work on constructing that because we can only build or upgrade 2 megastructures at a time. And we are currently building our mega shipyard, and we are also building our Science Nexus. So we can't work on that for the time being. But what we can do is continue to reinforce our fleets. So that's excellent. This new fleet here, I'm going to go ahead and disband. That does not need to exist. And we've got our 5 fleets here. We need 55,000 alloys to fully reinforce all of that. So really, that's not too bad. We'll have those alloys fairly quickly, except for the upgrading megastructures thing, which we are interested in doing, but honestly, I feel like reinforcing our fleets is a higher priority in hopes that the AI will stop declaring war on us pointlessly. That would be nice, but we'll see if that ends up happening. We're going to put in our anchorages here. We're also going to put in a research is not the word, a resource silo and an ice mining station. We're going to do the same thing in Fajantris. We're going to put in 2 anchorages, a research silo, I did it again, a resource silo, and an ice mining station. Perfect. Flash coolant finishing up, and we are next going to go for focusing arrays. There we go. Now at this point, we could very easily just switch over to automatic research. That is definitely something we could do, and I guess we'll give it a go and see how it goes. I mean, at this point, we're basically on autopilot on the research anyway, so no big deal there, as far as I'm concerned. The Destican Unity has built a Strategic Coordination Center. They're behind us on that front, but where is their Strategic Coordination Center? We don't actually see it just yet. Okay, sounds good. Before we launch on our conquest of the galaxy, we definitely want to get our megastructures built. There's no doubt about that. That will also give time for our worlds to continue to scale up a little bit. And this is a Pictling. Why did that...
Research complete.
Oh, never mind. We need civilian complexes here. This is a different world. What am I talking about? Okay, so this agro world requires a system capital complex. We'll put that in.
We grow
Army damage
stronger.
is finished up, of course. And it automatically selected what? Edict duration. Okay, sure. That's fine. No big deal there. This bureaucratic center requires a job. We're actually going to put in a city district for right now.
Technology secured.
Excellent. That's assembly algorithms finishing up. Beautiful. I do think that we need to reinforce all of our fleets. So we'll continue to work on that. We need about 48,611 alloys at this point. These other requirements aren't too huge. We're not too concerned about them. It should be just fine. So the diamond, bloodstone, topaz, bronzite, and ruby are all going to finish up eventually. The bronzite will be the longest. We're probably going to focus on the topaz for the time being. Actually, the ruby, because it is closest, and it's also just chilling over here in Amadioa. And that's okay. I want to take a look at these fleets. These are not tremendously scary fleets. Now, we know that they have, like, 120k fleets. So that's definitely something that we are aware of. We'll continue to reinforce this fleet, of course. And once we have that done, then we are going to get our construction ships working on, well, what are we going to work on next? We're going to sit on the level 1 megastructures over here for a little bit, I think, because we're working on our fleets. So we're probably going to want to do a sentry array next. That's a big deal, actually, having access to that sentry array. And we might want to put that sentry array somewhere like Troidum. I feel like that would be a good location for it. So that's what we'll do for now. That is the overall plan. Once we're done there, we can just head on over to Troidum. It'll take some time to get there, that's fine. We could jump drive there, but I'm not really in a huge hurry, so that'll be fine. We need 5,000 alloys to do that anyway, right? So that's completely okay. We're going to get a few more destroyers built into the Topaz Sufit, and actually this is going to get us 2 more destroyers. Beautiful. We do still require 4 cruisers here, so that'll be a little bit of time. And we don't have a Juggernaut. We should consider building one. Definitely. I've underused Juggernauts previously, but having seen the attacks over here, I see their value. We should get one built. And how much will that cost? It'll be like 3,500 alloys, I think. Yeah, 3,512. So that will be an important thing, but I think we definitely want to get the Topaz Sufit reinforced first. It now has its cruisers, and all we're lacking is a few destroyers here. 5 to be precise. On the next month tick, actually it is at full strength. Beautiful. So the Ruby is going to be the next one. That's also lacking in a few destroyers. We'll get 3 of those constructing. And we're going to finish up these megastructure constructions eventually. I want to check in on these stations over here. We definitely want to get those upgrading to a Star Fortress. And we're, of course, going to put in our anchorages here. We don't need them immediately, so I'm okay with the Star Fortress upgrade going first. That's completely fine. So we'll grab anchorages here as well. That finishes up our focusing arrays. Great. So we're just that little bit more powerful. Our fleets are currently at 100k-ish, and is that with edicts on? Yes, that is with edicts on. Okay, so that's definitely good to know. We completed our mega shipyard construction here. That's perfect. So that's just our construction site, obviously. And this construction ship is now going to head over to Troidum. But that'll take it a little while to get there, and in the meantime, we're going to get the Ruby Sufit back to full strength. There we go. The Bronzite Sufit, that's a long ways away, like 40,000 alloys, so we'll hold off on that for the moment. Strike craft damage, sure. Not too bad. Oh, and I did check to make sure that we didn't have anything to analyze over here. We didn't. I checked that in between episodes. There was not anything like that. So Edict Duration finishes up, of course, and it chooses Starbase Cap next. Okay, cool. So we're at 882 out of 902. And we are, at this point, banking alloys for our sensor array. So that'll be good. We need 2390 for that. And alloys in general are going to be at a bit of a premium right now. We have a lot of alloys that we want to spend. The Azerian Authority is making claims on us. That is, these guys. We already knew that they were upset at us. They're pathetic to us, though. Although that is outdated. Pathetic and inferior pathetic means that we could probably just take them. And we can jump drive over here. So we can actually fight them and reasonably consider engaging them. Shouldn't be too bad. But here we go. The War in Heaven. Ever since the awakening of the Valdari and their ancient Zikmok rivals, the two giants have been at odds, skirmishing and jockeying for influence, probing each other's might. This has resulted in a series of increasingly terse confrontations, finally erupting in an open battle between a Valdari fleet and their Zikmok counterparts in a remote system. The conflict has now escalated into full-blown war between the Valdari peacekeepers and the Zikmok reconquerors. Each side has sent a representative to the younger races, promising great rewards for those who join them in their war and terrible punishments for those who choose to stand against them. Choosing either side in this conflict will mean giving up our independence, but remaining neutral may be even more dangerous unless we can find out other neutral empires to stand by our side. So they're only superior to us in tech right now. We could just say they will both fall to our might, and that's exactly what we're going to do. They're going to be upset at that, but sure. Not all of the younger races choose to join with either side in the war raging between the Elder Empires. Some, like ourselves, have remained neutral, but are facing the prospect of facing the Elder Menace alone if the war should come their way. The Kelazon Republic, these guys right over here, has boldly taken the initiative, declaring their alliance a league of non-aligned powers, seeking to oppose both sides in the war, and inviting other neutral nations to rally behind their banner. Joining this league would almost certainly mean war with the Awakened Empires, but at least we would have allies to stand by our side, instead of facing them alone. No, we're going to let them exhaust themselves. It's simply too dangerous. We will stand alone. And that's fine. The Genlot Watchers no longer exists. Cool. So that's fine. We are, of course, going to head up here, and on the month tick, we're going to be able to build our sentry array, and so we shall. We'll get that started. And we will begin that construction. As soon as we finish up our construction up here on the Science Nexus, are we going to build additional megastructures? Well, what do we have left that we haven't built? Yeah, a lot of people are going to join the non-aligned powers. That's fine. So, there's the Gateway Construction Site, Strategic Coordinate, yeah. We haven't done a Mega Art Installation or an Interstellar Assembly yet. Both of those are definitely not great militarily. We may actually skip them. We know that those exist elsewhere in the galaxy, so we may just look to conquer them instead. Cool. So basically the entire galaxy is part of the League of Non-Aligned Powers. Wow. Okay. Literally the whole galaxy other than us. And of course, the two warring Awakened Empires. Oh, there's the Awoken. They sided with the Zikmok. As did these guys. Okay, so we're hoping that the League does not decide to declare on us. That would be rough, in fact. They'd not allow us to join the Federation. It's too late for that. I guess we'll see what they do. I was not expecting the whole galaxy to join this. Okay, our Science Nexus has been constructed. So we're going to actually disband this construction ship. Cool. Next, we're going to continue pumping out our fleets, I think. Well, actually, no. We need to save up for the Mega Shipyard construction site. And we need to work on our economy. If we're going to get attacked by the rest of the galaxy, which I think is fairly likely, this is going to be rough. We're going to get alloy nano plants here. And actually, we can upgrade the system capital complex. We'll go ahead and do that as well. This bureaucratic center, alloy nano plants. Or rather, mega forges for right now. This tech world. we're going to do research complexes. Cool. So if we were declared on by the League, that would be rough. However, by being non-aligned, we're hoping that they aren't actually interested in that. But yeah, literally every other nation in the galaxy, other than us and a couple of little guys. Every other one joined this league. Oh. There's a lot of fleets up over here. So are they at war with the big boys? Yes, they are at war with the big boys. They're participating in the war in heaven. So because of that, we do definitely expect that the League is going to win. It's quite late for the big boys to rise up, right? So that is quite late, and we certainly do expect... That's a lot of tiny little Space Elf League fleets. We certainly do expect the galaxy to be able to crush these two. So that's interesting, but that buys us time, which we're happy with. We're very happy with that. So there goes our edicts there. That's fine. And this tech world, of course, requires a research lab. This bureaucratic center, we're actually going to put in a city district here.
Intellectual
there we go.
booty.
And we just got Interstellar Expansion 2 for another starbase cap. Cool. Literally the only ones to not join. That's insane. Well, we now can't attack the Destican Unity until the
Technology secured.
League of Non-Aligned Powers falls apart, which I actually do expect to happen. I do think that the League of Non-Aligned Powers is going to fall apart after the War in Heaven. So this should, in theory, be okay. Emphasis on in theory. Well, our Mega Shipyard construction site is going to be constructible here in just 2 months. So that's great. And we've got that Sentry Array site. That's only 32% done. Cool. So we're going to continue to prepare this. And actually, 2 months now. 2 month ticks at this point. 980 alloys, so we're going to have a year tick here. We're also probably going to have our endgame crisis soon, right? I'm a little surprised it hasn't happened, unless the War in Heaven is intended to be the endgame crisis. But I don't think it is. That said, there was the Crisis Aspirant. And I'm wondering if that replaced the Crisis? Although previously we had Crisis Aspirants and the Crisis spawned, right? So I think the Crisis is just delayed. Like, the whole galaxy appears to be a little bit delayed here. Like, all of the events are happening a little slower. But that's okay. So the Valdari are beginning to expand, and looking at their fleet strength, they're reasonably strong, but not absurdly so. Like, we'd be able to fight them. Considering that we have that bonus against Awakened Empires. And this was just in case, right? Just in case they actually attack us. For now, we're remaining neutral. Emphasis on for now. That's not going to last, but that is the current plan. So we have 79k energy credits right now. We're close to our cap. I'm actually going to buy in a few alloys here. Like so. That drives the price of alloys up for everyone else, which is nice, but more importantly, it gives us 7.2k, and with that 7.2k, we're, I think, going to invest those into the Bronzite Sufite. No, we're going to get a Juggernaut first. Oh yeah, we need a Colossal Assembly Yards. We're going to put that in Haven Sky, and we'll get that going. Cool. So with that underway, that's great. And we can definitely see the Valdari are attacking the Destican up here. That's fine. We do expect that they either lose or they expend so much strength that we can easily defeat them later. And they're respecting our neutrality for now. We're open borders to them. They have no reason to attack us. Not that that'll necessarily stop them from attacking us, but they have no reason to attack us. This tech world is ready to have a job put in, and I would love to put in a research lab, and in fact, can we? No, we can't. So we'll put in a city district instead. We do grow ever stronger. This bureaucratic center is actually going to get an industrial district. There we go. Cool. So we're just keeping an eye on the state of the war in heaven. The entire galaxy, other than us, is participating in it. And the Marish Archivists here. We, too, are the only empires that are not participating in this. Star Hegemony is right. Yep, they are. So we are the only ones not participating in this war. This is truly a galactic war. And that's going to be very, very interesting. No doubt about that. We're saving up a few alloys at this point to get another megastructure construction going. However, we're building our 2 right now that we can, and so that's completely fine. We could always dump these alloys into fleets if we wanted to. That would require 40,000 to get this fleet maxed out. And that's okay. It is, however, time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that, and next episode, we're going to continue building up our megastructures, and we're getting incredibly close at this point to being willing to do something aggressively. However, we'll have to wait and see how exactly this war in heaven ends up playing out, and that's going to be very interesting. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and I will see you all next time.